Hey YouTube, and welcome to part 3 of my Blueprints Marathon from May 18th, 2025. Today is the final part of this marathon stream I did, which was over 9 hours. Broke that up into 3 parts, roughly 3 hours each. I think this one will be about 2.5 hours, give or take, once it's all said and done. But I want to say thank you for watching everything, and there will be more Blueprints videos moving forward. However, none of them were live streamed, meaning that every video after this one will be a YouTube exclusive, never before seen. You guys get to see it first. So I hope you like Blueprints content because I have a lot of it coming up for you. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you do enjoy this video, please consider leaving a like and a comment on it. Please consider hitting that subscribe button if you want to see more of my content, that alert button if you want to get notified when my newest video will drop. And of course, you can follow me on all my social media down below. But YouTube, that's going to do it for me. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoy the video. But I think this will be the final run. I feel pretty good about that. Sure, what's up, Femzy? Hit me with this something else I missed there. I imagine it was in the classrooms. Hey, Sexton. No, didn't miss anything too much. We got a lot of information from the countries, but beyond that, need to read a new clue again. Okay, well, I took hints across the board. What did I miss? Because, yeah, I'm going to be honest. I don't want to go back to it again. That'll be the third time. So I'm not really happy to hear that. I'm going to be honest with you. Again, not mad at you, but... What did I miss? With subtle hints to things? So let me, Femzy, before we go into that, I did take down some notes about specific pages. I didn't know what they were. But can I tell you but before we get into this, can I just tell you what I wrote down and you can tell me if I got everything or if I missed one? Is that alright? Because I did write some stuff down. So I have here, from a new clue, I wrote down the Mary, Mary, Gates, Gates, right, wordplay. Lore is a word, Jor is a name. Draft the sixes to shifted extras to the fixed stars. So that's one of the things I wrote down. I don't remember what page that was on specifically. The second thing I wrote down was I wrote down the list of all the suspects and their age. So I have like Rose Bali, age 50, Richard Scott, Frond Mayford, Sandra Dillon, Bo Lee, Charles Riscal. I wrote all that. I also have Tender Cipher, Lunar Renamed, Uncle Aw, and Draft the Sixes. And then I wrote down about the page count and the cipher. And I also wrote down the green or the blue and red notes as well. The suspect is A key, the suspect is minor, the suspect is not major, and the suspect is not minor, because those are red. So that's everything I wrote. I thought I took pretty detailed notes on what I thought were subtle clues. I think one of them was 15, but I don't know for sure if I got everything you're thinking of, Femzy. Did I miss one? Because if I did, I'll go back and do it, but I think I did take notes on everything that jumped out at me as being suspicious in that book. So, just to be safe. I missed 2. Okay. So, I will make a note. 5, 6, and 15. Okay. All right, made a note. I think with that one, I don't think I'm going to use the library. I'll probably just go back and review like either this VOD or something and check out the pages, because I did check out every page kind of in detail. So I'll probably do a little cheating for that one. Out of these three, I feel the tomb is the best bet here. Okay. Thank you, Femsy. I do appreciate it. Have I ruminated on your earlier hint? I have, Stegson, and I still don't know what it is. I'm thinking. My thought is, my thought is the House of Mirrors, but I don't know for sure. Or the Room of Mirrors, but I don't know for sure. Yeah, probably, just because I'm probably not going to go out of my way to do it again, since I've already had to do it 3 times. Or rather, this will be my 3rd time, and I'm kind of getting annoyed. So, I won't mind if you share it with me, Femsy. I'll make an exception this time, just, again, to save myself the headache. The one nice thing, though, I will say this, is because of the way I set up the library, I could potentially get it again. But it's just such a pain to have to keep going back and doing it again. Especially because I did want to check out the Curse of the Black Bridge this time, since we just got it. Conference room's a good one to get here. Securing the vault early could also be good, but I'm gonna go with the conference room. It's not Chamber of Mirrors. Okay. Then yeah, it's Texas. I don't know what it is. I gotta think on it some more, but truthfully, I haven't really been thinking about it. But I should. It's an object I need to look at. Okay. Sexton, can you drop the hint again, please? Okay. 14 words with under 14 beside them. All check corner case rooms have a low case clue found in the rooms. Okay, so I need to look at the patio. Nook, office, and pantry. And there's a low case clue. Okay, interesting. And then page 15, I'm assuming, is the A key sort of thing. Vase in an area looks like the entrance hall, and there's a hammer by it. Okay. Alright. Thank you, Femsy. I do greatly appreciate that. Yeah, I think that's correct, Silly. So this is what I wanted to check here. I know, I'm going back to the cipher, guys. Sorry. There's a lot I don't understand in this game. I'm going to be completely honest. Okay, so we have red. That's part of what makes this game so insane, is the level of detail. Like, I never would have thought to look for that. Page A, word X. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So... okay, there's another way to guess it? Okay. No worries. Thank you, Femsy, sincerely. Thank you very much. Alright, so page A, word 10. Page A would be page 1. Well, it wouldn't necessarily be word 10, it would be word X, which is 24? So made? So yeah, that doesn't make sense, because then the cipher would be NB NBF E. So yeah, something I don't understand this. I do not. The cipher worked for the first one, but not this one. Look at its end. Okay, it's a room I've drafted many a time. Alright, thank you, Stexon. Yeah, I don't understand the cipher clue at all. Every time I think I have it, I don't. MZ did say there's another way to do it. But I don't know, man. I'm feeling really freaking stupid right now, I'm gonna be honest. Sure, silly, go ahead. Yeah, if you want to make a guess, absolutely. Yeah, it could be. For Stexon's thing, yeah. I thought you were gonna guess on the cipher, not Stexon's hint. But that's okay. Yeah, could be the observatory. It's definitely a possibility. Alright. Come back and try this again. Okay, you looked the cipher up. Hey, look, there's the observatory. Well, let's test your theory, silly. Look at its end. Well, let's go take a look. I don't think I'm going to be able to get that all the way down. So I wonder if it's something at the top here, maybe? You were close. Seems a little too far away. Let's take a look. Whoops, other way. Silly, I think you're right, because this looks like a compartment. Planetarium. Okay, nice. There we go. Thank you for the hints, Dexon, and thank you, Silly. Good call. Good call. I think that should be good, and then we'll just put it back in place. Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, that's another one I probably never would have, like, bothered to check. So, thank you guys very, very much. I greatly appreciate it. Alright, there we go. You know, we actually wanted the archives when we had the lab, and we never got it. I'll get the Great Hall here, because it could open up to the blue crown again. But we'll save this locked door. Oh, man. All of these kind of suck. I hate to use the passageway here, but we've got to. Alright, cool. Thank you, guys. I do very much appreciate it. It means a lot for all your help today. I hope you know that, so thank you. I don't really want the archives here, but none of the others. I also don't want to spend all of my freaking diamonds immediately. Though I think the cloister will give me something. So let's at least, if we're going to spend money, let's spend it there. It didn't give me anything. That's unfortunate, but oh well. It opened it up and I didn't have to get the archive, so. Ooh, Rotunda. This is going to be a good one here. Because this one will let me rotate some floor plans too, which is awesome. Yeah, I think we'll do the West Wing Hall there. That seems like a good spot. And we'll open up this one too. I guess out of all of these, I guess the archives is the best one. I don't like it, but I can at least deal with that, you know what I mean? Well, here's the pantry, and we also have the reading nook. So, let's take a look for that clue. The only thing is, I don't know what we're supposed to be looking for. Low case clue. Bridge. I can't believe I never noticed that before. That's like diabolical, but also fantastic. patio, nook, office, pantry. Yeah. Got it. Had to put it backwards, but... Oh, I didn't mean to click that. Oh, that actually worked out hilariously well. It's the den. We're back. Only problem is we have no keys, which is very unfortunate. Well, there's the garage. That'll solve our key problem. So will the servant spare quarters, though. I think I will go with the servant spare quarters for now, and we'll save the garage. Just because I think this will also give me more steps from the nursery. Okay. Use one of the keys. Get the corridor, or we could gamble with the archive plan. I kind of want to save the corridor. So let's gamble. Alright. We got the coat check. Let's head through the archives. So I don't really feel like gambling on the Great Hall yet. Tanner boy, take it easy, kiddo. It's okay. Study, weight room, or archive. I think we go archive here. We got the furnace. Okay. Honestly, not ideal. I was hoping to save this for later, but beggars can't be choosers, I guess. Weight room probably would have been better, but that's okay. So we still have the foundation, so we're not toast yet. Secret passage, or we could gamble on another 1 gem requirement. I think I'm going to go secret passage, and here's why. I want to do a green room here because we might get the patio, and we might get it for free. Morning room. I don't think I've ever gotten this one. Oh, that's tough. I really don't like this one because of the rotation on it, though, if I'm going to be completely real with you guys. I'm not a fan. Like, I want to draft it, because I never drafted it before, but that would only give me one more option, and I think I want to try to go for the patio. Let's see if I got it right. Well, it's not the patio, but it worked! Archive that one. Oh no! Not the church! Well, let's see if we can get the patio. Oof. I'm gonna take the dark room only because it'll give us more chances. And speaking of more chances, I'm gonna take the Geist bedroom. Because it'll give us... Because we have the tomb today. So we'll get a ton of rerolls, which is pretty sweet. Dark room is dark. And we'll use our final key. Servants' quarters. Not ideal, but we did get a whole bunch of keys. And we'll check the Nook before we end today. Take a shot in the dark. Oh, wowee, that sucks. Brutal. But on the bright side, at least we never have to come back through here again. Damn it. That ends our run, everybody. Oh. That is awful. I'm actually kind of upset about this run, guys. I'm not gonna lie. Like, this is an atrociously bad run. Holy shit. Just did not have any luck on our draws there. Well, let's go check the Nook. No point in collecting all the money, because we can't spend it anywhere. Yeah, just... oof. Awful. The only item I have is the sleeping mask. I don't even think that's worth checking in, if I'm going to be completely honest. It's good, but I think by the time I would find it again, I don't think it's worth it. Yeah. Well, since I have the steps, I'll check it in. There's literally nothing wrong with checking it in, since I don't have anything else I can check in, and I have the steps. But... yeah, man, just... yeah. No, I do know that, Femsy, but thank you. Femsy's saying that when you check in an item, it won't appear again until you check it out. Yeah, I think that's alright. Alright, and we will call it a day. I don't want that to be our last run. That's like just super freaking discouraging. So I'm going to do one more day. We're going to do one more day. And then we'll call it. But yeah, just, man, talk about disappointing. We got the tomb, which was exciting. You know, if we had found the showroom, then all the dead ends we got might have been worth it, but woo-wee. That was a tough run. T-U-F-F, tough. Good boy, Tanner. This will be the final run, okay, bud? I promise. I have beside Space Bridge. So I went to go check where the bridge would be in the garage, and I think it might be the log beside the bridge. Could be wrong, but that's my thinking. Because I don't think there's a bridge anywhere else. Unless it's over here, unless it's this bridge, which, hey, maybe it is. But my thought was there's a bridge that appears over there, but maybe it's over here. Let's look around. The broken lever code checked in case the greenhouse to fix the lever there. Should I uncheck the lever to save something else? I don't think you need to have the lever. Like, the lever is useful for more than just that. But I personally don't think you need to have the broken lever checked in. That's my opinion. Maybe Femzy will disagree. But it is useful for a lot of things, but in my run, I can't say that I have found that I needed it very often. I'm checking everything beside the bridge. Might need to dig or something. May need the shovel. Well, we'll see. I'm sure if I get either the patio or the office, that'll help a lot. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe you have to dig around here. I'm going to go with the tool shed this time. Okay. Well, we got the hammer and the metal detector, and we can use the hammer in the entrance room. And the metal detector will be very useful. That's a great item to get right off the bat. Okay. Back in the entrance room. Man, we lost, like... Why am I at 39 steps? I should have, like, 60, right? Did the game glitch? Well, hey, there's a microchip. That's handy. Yep, got one of them. I didn't get, like, a punishment or anything from the last house, right? Like... Guys, what happened to my footsteps? Why did I lose so many? Like, I'm baffled by that. Yeah, take a look at my steps. I'm at 38 steps when I should start with 70. I think the game might have glitched or something. I don't know. Alright, well there's 2 out of the 3. I think I need an access code. Yeah, I'm starting off this run with a handicap. Man, that's tough. Breaking a vase had consequences. Yeah, maybe. I don't think so, but yeah. Yeah, maybe breaking the vase punished me. Yeah, I'll have to go back and take a look. But yeah, I'm like, what the hell? There's a clue to that and why that happened. Also, welcome on in, Meeple Pete. Hello. Hope you're doing well. So, something triggered that? Gems are in a box with a false statement. The blue box is false. And the white box is false. Okay. Let's think about this. Let's assume if this is false, this is true, and this is true. Yeah, so I think Meeple Pete, we're at like 47 hours in total. This is day 31, I think. So yeah, we've been doing it a lot, but yeah, I'd have to go back and check. I just looked up, and all of a sudden, I lost all of my steps for some reason. I think it was before the vase, but I'm not 100% sure. All right, if the white box is false and the blue box is false. Okay. So let's assume this one is true. The white box is false. Then this is the blue box is true. And the gems are in a box with a false statement, meaning they'd be in the white box. If this one is true and the blue box is false, then the gems are in a box with a true statement, and it would still be the white box. Started the day with 45 steps. Why did I start the day with 45 steps? What, Femzy, is there something, is it something I can discover, or is it something I should know already? Let me put it that way. Calling it a day in the servant's spare quarters cut it in half. Oh, God, really? Damn. Why would it do that? Alright, whatever. Ending the day in certain bedroom affects your steps for the next day. Okay. It's in the ladies' bedchamber. Okay. I have been in there, but I must have missed that, which I'm not surprised I did. Let me take a note. Maybe I wrote it down. We didn't find her lady's bedchamber until very late, though. So... Let me check my notes here. Sorry, guys. Looks like I missed it. I don't think I have any notes of that at all. Yeah, I don't think I have a single note of that. So I must have just missed it. Yeah, I've been in room 46 twice. Oh, it was in the diary. Okay. Yeah, okay, that might... Yeah, I do remember the diary. I couldn't open it. I didn't have the key or something, so yeah. Okay. Not mad about that, then. Whatever. I thought I had missed something again, and 2 times in 1 day is not okay for me. I would have gone up and flipped the table and left. Okay, I'm going to use the Chamber of Mirrors here. Because we already have 2 of the open slots. And, you know, the worst part about that is, Femzy did mention that, stopping in the bedroom clue, too. I did not even put that together. So I've got no one to blame on that one but me. Simple as that. You know, sometimes you just... Sometimes I'm a bit slow on the uptake, guys. What can I say? Sorry. Alrighty. Observation's not going the right way, so we're going to go pantry here. It was a week of watching people play, but we'll continue this week. Hell yeah, Meeple Pete. Well, thank you very much for coming in and hanging out with us. I do appreciate it. Yeah, there's been, I'm going to be honest, today's been a day of high highs and low lows for me. But it's been good overall. It's just been a lot of, like, silly mistakes, you know? Did I hit this one? No, I didn't. Okay, cool. And now we can go around the entire mirror room! Well, almost, but yeah. Point being. Did I press this one? Yeah, okay. Alright, so now... This is where things get a little weird. Several side puzzles unlock after you get a 46. New puzzle to complete, which will require several days. Mystery puzzle you've only gotten hints to that waits after that one. Yeah, okay. Check up the corners. Oh, yeah, here we go. Okay, thank you. So each, yeah, so the key now is I gotta lower some of these guys while still being able to access the elevator here in the center. So that's the trick. So that one... We'll lower that guy. That's good. That guy will raise this one. Okay, interesting. That one will lower there. So we got that corner. I think. Another aquarium. Okay. Another boudoir. Okay. That's handy. So this is the... No, that's the corner I've got. So it's just this one. So I just need to lower one of these two guys. Okay. Just need to lower one of those two. There we go. Got it. All right. Have I figured out the secret of the mirror room yet? I don't think so. Aside from these four corners, no, I don't believe I have, Femsy. That's what I was actually trying to do when you mentioned the stuff in the four corners. Check my map. Okay, what am I supposed to be looking for? I got a boudoir and an aquarium were the two extra rooms. A boudoir and the aquarium. They matched the rooms connected to the chamber. Yeah, that didn't happen here. Didn't happen here. Yeah, I got a duplicate of the aquarium and of the boudoir, neither of which is attached. So that's why I was puzzled. I'm like, am I supposed to be looking something? But cool. Awesome. Okay, let's go back down then, since... Got a bedroom and a matching type. Oh, that makes sense. I guess they couldn't duplicate the halls, so that's why they gave me the aquarium. Because they couldn't duplicate the halls, so they gave me an aquarium, I suppose. Alright, now I gotta... They can duplicate halls? Interesting. Okay, good to know. I think security here is a good one to get. Mostly because it'll give us 2 extra doors. Checking to make sure. I thought I saw an item there, but I think that's just me getting tired. This is going to be the longest ever stream I think I've ever done. I don't think I've ever done a stream quite this long before. It's good to know that I can. Storeroom or the study? I think I want to go the storeroom here. It'll give me some more stuff. It has been a great day. No, it has. I really have. I know it's been, you know, frustrating at times, but I definitely have been having more fun than not. That I assure you. Okay. Yeah, we still have a lot of other stuff, too. Reading Nook. This will be cool, except we can't get the library. Observatory is probably the way to go here. Oh, we got something. Key on the ground? Hell yeah. I love that metal detector. I really do. Came back and said, Shenzo's still on? Yes, I am. Alright, twins. And Farmer's Apple. Okay. Pretty cool stuff. I will eventually have to make my way back down there. But I don't have the sledgehammer right now, so I'm not going to go try and open it, and I don't want to use my keys on that. Hallway, I think, is a good choice here. I don't really want the utility closet there, and I don't want the Geist bedroom either. Second observatory or the reading nook. I think I'm going to go the reading nook here. Yep, beside. Get the boudoir here, or the library, or the chapel. I think I'll go to the library because we still have the other area in the entrance hall, so we can still secure that area. And here we can also look at this book. The Curse of Blackbridge by Redford Ewing. I think, if I remember correctly, Ewing was one of the ones, along with the author of the History of Arindia, that was arrested. That was Philip White. No, different guy. Okay. Legend of Blackbridge is one that's well known to the people of the Grand Realm. Versions of this tale have been passed down from generation to generation. Changed, more colorful, verbose. Okay. Never be definitive version. Story my grandmother told me as a boy long ago. Is that hand? I don't think so. I don't think that would be a requirement to know ASL for this. I could be wrong, but... The Berry Picker from Oris. Many years ago, before peace had become a familiar word, there lived a group of rogues so wayward that the local deemed it appropriate to call their number the Unholy Hounds. They were feral outlaws, composed society's worst in a time when society was at its worst. For each crime, that fearful travelers credited to the group, a dozen more lay unclaimed, each worse than the last. For the gentry, however, who often value their coffers more than their companions, no crime could measure more than the group's primary enterprise, highway robbery. Boy of 13 years, Jesper, who had not been lucky in life, lost 2 brothers to war and parents to famine. Hunger that followed, lived in a gutter behind the churchyard, relying on nourishment of scurrying bugs and weeds harvested from the cracks of the alleyways to sustain his pitiful existence. It's not surprising that a child aiming to escape such hardship would take an easy road out, an easy and well-traveled road paved with temptations, leading out of the city and into the gentry lands, whose loose purse strings entwine with the strand of salvation and glisten equally with the hope of opportunity. It was this road that eventually led Jasper to the end of his youth, a hidden cave at the bottom of Blackbridge Canyon. It was here that he met the surrogate family and saviors, a notorious gang of godless outlaws known as the Unholy Hounds. Despite the hardened circumstances that had led him to this vocation of banditry, Jesper was surprisingly tender-hearted and was often teased by the group for being too kind for such an ignoble life. For this reason, signed the role of berry picker. It was not just innocence that set berry picking apart from the game's more wicked undertakings, for it was the only duty performed without the safety of night's concealment. Jesper, no stranger to solitude, did not protest that he alone worked while the others slept soundly, tucked away in the cave at the bottom of Blackbridge Canyon. Decided to get an early start, he left the cave, berry basket in hand, and set out in the woods before morning sun had even brushed against the tallest treetops. It was colder in the mornings, but the headway dawn afforded meant Jesper could reach the furthest most berry patches without worry of being chastised for tarrying upon his return. 3 hours on foot? Hang on. Tanner, stop! Tanner, stop. Sorry, guys. Be right back. Hang on. Alright, sorry, guys. Mongo decided to chill in my bedroom, and Tanner decided he didn't like that. So Tanner started barking at him. Alright, even accounting for time lost, this long shot of travel as ever would be well worth the pains. Patches of the new grove surprised even Jesper. Red dots suspended on the leaves seemed as numerous as stars in the skies. He clutched his berry basket tightly and nearly toppled over out of joy. Once he regained his senses, he quickly made a decision. He would not reveal the location of this newfound treasure. Instead, he would earn the respect of his confederates, who, upon seeing his yield, might attribute the success to hard work. Set off to fill his basket while making steady strides in the task, while the sound of thundering hooves interrupted him. A carriage is approaching. Thought of it made Jesper freeze. Had he been so enchanted by his discovery that he neglected to observe his surroundings? How could a roadway be so close? He ducked down and crept towards the impending sound, hiding behind one of the larger bushes nearby. It was only a moment before where the sound source revealed itself within 50 paces of where Jesper hid. An elegant carriage with gold trim came soaring around in the corner of trees, led by two beautiful white horses and conveyed by a stern-looking driver seated atop the vehicle, flaunting the most sophisticated regalia Jesper had ever seen. Not just any carriage, it was a royal carriage. Even without ever having witnessed such a sight before, Jesper was certain. The sight had so transfixed Jesper that he stood awestruck, unable to tear away as the carriage approached. Little concealment bush provided was soon proven unequal to the driver's lofty perch, and upon spotting the boy, he pulled the reins in such an effort that the noble steed slid to a sudden halt with precise control. "You, boy, get out from behind that bush," he shouted with a rigidity that betrayed a modest amount of fear. "You startled me half to death coming around the bend on my own drive and seeing such an unfamiliar face in a place there ought not to be any face." Quickly contemplated running. The man was much older, but his dress was suitable for courtly behavior, not dashing through bramble and mud. I was picking berries, raised the half-filled basket to allow the driver to see proof of his words. Suddenly changed. It was changed Jesper was familiar with. Many signs seemed the same stern expression, almost fiendish bandit smelled away, representing the berry basket. Any suspicion that the driver might have had instantly evaporated, for even the notion of a member of the unholy hounds picking berries seemed farcical. Driver smiled. "Berries, eh? Say you couldn't have picked a better spot for them, could you? I used to pick berries here as a boy." Took up the cue to finally step out of from behind the bush, proudly brandishing his basket. "I know. What luck I found them. I'd only just been picking, and look how many I have. Taking me fourfold the time back home to procure this number." "And where is your home, boy? It must be quite far." "A little south of Tanner Fork, just past the burnt woods." "My God, that is far. He couldn't have come all the way only this morning." It was true. Tanner Fork was the exact opposite direction that Jesper had traveled, and while the response would seem perfectly reasonable in the location closer to Black Bridge, see why it seemed less believable here. "Sorry, I have traveled much farther for much less profit. I dare say there is no distance yet made by man that would not be worthy undertaking a prize such as these. Surely you have tasted them for yourself?" "In my youth, often, but perhaps I took it for granted because I never had to travel very far. Even then, my father would always drive us out here in our carriage, so I'm ashamed I never had to walk such a stretch to earn an equal reward." "Let my efforts reward us both today." He raised the basket even higher. "Taste in memory of your youth, sir." Travel chuckled and removed one glove, bending over the seat and reached down the basket. The moment touched the first berry, the dagger in turn met his throat, cutting through a superficial layer of skin and drawing blood. "And that, for my taste, would have your personal memory of my youth." The driver's arm had gone stiff, his chin raised and trembling, more frightened than he ever been. Unable or incapable of speaking, he could not respond to the boy. Perhaps he did not think his jaw could afford to be engaged in that particular time. He let the basket drop, freeing the other hand to probe the man's pocket. "Do not mistake me, sir. I will not kill you if you give me no cause. Though I melt the thought of taking your carriage and leaving you the indignity of walking appeals to me." "There is no purse." "Why you have no purse upon your person?" "There's a lockbox in the carriage." "Well, come down there and grant me the courtesy of sparing your life and binding your hands. A concession, I assure you, my tender heart, for it would be much easier to slit your throat." Started to comply, slowly lowering himself. Once down, he got him away from the carriage to a nearby tree, where he instructed him to get on his knees and put his hand behind his back. He indulged Jesper while he figured out how to adequately bind him. The smile and kindness, it says nothing more than dismemory in their place. Cold, dark eyes display no emotion. "I wonder, should I grant you the same clemency you're showing me?" Jesper stopped, surprised by the question, but ignored it. With one hand on the door's handle, "There is no lockbox, there will be no clemency." Inside the carriage was surprisingly dusty and unswept, a stark contrast to the elegant and polished golden facade of the exterior. Apparently been many years since a passenger enjoyed a passenger in this vehicle. Solbit confirmed what Jesper had suspected. The driver of this carriage was not a liveried servant, the employee of some greater master. Any curiosity that the observation might have further produced was quickly abandoned upon seeing what rested on the carriage's back seat, a large wooden lockbox. Despite its hefty appearance, it was surprisingly easy to handle. Dislodged it from its hold, carried it out into the sunlight. Two observations were made. Totemic symbols found on all four sides. Likely ended the box was very old and likely not created by Arindian hands. It reminded him of artifacts from Old World and presumably crafted in one of the ancient realms. Secondly, the box was secured by a rusted yet robust padlock would not open easily without a key. Do you perhaps have a key you could provide me to open this box? Without emotion, the driver replied, there is no key to that box. Easy enough then. He headed over to a nearby rock of sizable dimensions, lifted up the stone carrying it. There's enough time when the lock had been resistant to brute force. It wasn't recent. One hit, the stone had completely shattered the rusted lock. He bent down to open the lid. Inside was an effigy, a crude figure chiseled from stone. Without too much deliberation, Jesper bent down and picked it up, somewhat surprised by how heavy it seemed, given how light the box had felt. He expected to find something more akin to gold or gems. He looks questioningly at the man. The mind smile once returned. You are cursed, my boy, for deadly is the stone. You have opened that which should have never been opened, and you are cursed. And shoved it in front of his face. That's one. Feeling his disappointment rising to anger, he tightened his grip. What are you mumbling, Yentor? In God's name, why have you no purse upon your person? The man did not seem intimidated. 1 pace. 12 more and you will be dead. He had only had a second to flinch before the effigy struck him in the head and put an end to his cryptic ramblings. There was never a time when the old man had been resistant to brute force. It wasn't recent. Now splattered red. Was it cursed? Was he cursed? Had he of course heard stories of curses and never doubted their validity in the past? Now he was standing face to face with the possibility of being cursed. His mind pleaded with him to be skeptical. And if he was cursed, what difference would the knowledge make? A dozen more paces would not be enough to find another living soul, to say nothing of the chances of procuring a remedy. Not moved from where he now stood, he could live for maybe 3 or 4 days, maybe more given the abundance of nearby berries. Plan that if we ignore the obvious faults might provide additional opportunities for help to come along, but what good would it do to be discovered here, beside a body, stolen goods in hand, bloated from berries, and raving about a curse that could very well not be real? No, it would best make certain to face one's fate now, take a dozen paces and see if life goes on. But Jasper found his legs unable to make that first step. His mind was unable to convince his limb to waste away 1/12 of his life in a single motion. Feeling desperation, he hopelessly looked about him for a solution. If by some stroke of luck the gods had heard his plea, a miracle materialized before him as if he found himself suddenly at the end of a fairy tale. 2 white horses and a carriage of golden trim were beside him, the answer to his immediate prayers. He laughed at his fortune and calculated the short number of paces back to the road. 4, perhaps only 3 if he jumped. He made a quick survey. And anything he wished to grab before taking the plunge. He thought about removing the driver's fancy coat, that it appeared to be of some value, the additional risk of undertaking such a task too great to chance. And so after a profound breath, he took a second, third, and fourth steps, though they were quite large. Seated now beside the horses, he reached for the reins, suddenly realized he was still gripping the effigy. If the curse was real, then it would certainly be better left here. If, on the other hand, if the story was fictitious, there might be some appraisal that could be made of the figure. It was, after all, found within a lockbox. Its typical function often secures objects of value. Having witnessed firsthand the horrors of destination, found his mind equally reluctant to allow his hand to let go. If it is cursed, I die. If not today, then tomorrow. And if I die, what care have I? And with the statement said aloud, Jasper took up the reins with confidence. Part 2. Oh boy. Miller awoke to some light nudging from a familiar foot. Only one person had the cheek to awaken her in such an ill-mannered fashion, shaking the sleep from her eyes. Lit up in the darkness, but did not say a word. He nudged her again teasingly, then stepped back in the din. After taking a moment for her eyes to adjust to the darkness of the cave, Miller remembered she was on third watch day, quietly collecting her things and wits. Turned as she left, waving to her young friend who was already more than likely already asleep. She kept through the cavern's main passage, careful not to wake the sleeping bandits around her like a hero in a book, she often mused. Quietly, she grabbed a bow from the haphazardly formed pile of weapons, shaking the accompanying quiver in the darkness to assess how many arrows it held. She then walked towards the sun-drenched mouth of the cave, ready to start her shift. Above her, in one of the few trees found in the canyon, could see that Rabia was already posted. She waved. Rabia waved back, calling out anything to each other was strictly forbidden. Anything louder than a gesture in the canyon was forbidden. When Miller reached the tree, Rabia lowered a braided rope and pointed her to the ground behind her. She saw a pail of water resting beside a nearby log. She turned back to Rabia and nodded, secured a pail. The pail went up first. In turn, Miller followed. Reached across to grab the water. Miller leaned back to give her space. There was not much room for maneuvering in this tree post and necessarily concession for the concealment. Rabia tightened the pail up to her mouth dramatically, illustrating how thirsty she had been. Miller laughed silently as the water pulled out, splashing onto Rabia's face. It was a bit too daring and noisy of a joke. Had been others around, they would have certainly been scolded. or the unwarranted sound, but Miller appreciated the efforts Ravia took to verbalize the silence of the morning. They'd been on the third watch together for over a month, and during that speechless time, their friendship had grown into something special. Alright, real quick, because I'm just thinking about this. Ravia, I think, might have been one of the names of one of the angels that they worshipped. Tanner, you were just outside, bud. Calm down. No, that was Rinna, not Ravia. I feel like I've seen the name Miller and Ravia before. But I don't remember where. And I don't think I have a note of it either. Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, there's no note of it, so. Affection was surprisingly scarce among the unholy hounds. She had felt camaraderie before, of course, but intimacy never. The girls could see the concealed entrance of the cavern, as well as the bridge. Black Bridge was the link between the Gentry lands and the northern mountains, the overpass that connected Orris and Reddington. To the city-faring travelers, the bridge was an unavoidable crossing. To ensure travelers passed by without stopping at night, their task was to ensure they do. Miller preferred the night. Biting glare of the sun might be tolerable to farmhands and bricklayers, but to a cavern house bandit was a source of constant annoyance. In the day, there was no shroud to hide or conceal expressions, nor to hide. She felt exposed. Ravia touched her elbow, pointed up. Miller, striving to suppress a budding smile, suddenly shook her head in response. There were many signs that the unholy hounds used in lieu of words, but in two of them had developed an extended vocabulary. Gestures quietly forged the shared solitude among the month of the branches. She watched as the Ravia shifted, placing her palms flat on the floorboards beneath them. Miller knew what she was trying to say, but shook her head a second time. It was often more fun to pretend not to understand. Ravia rolled her eyes and turned away, looking back to the canyon. Two girls held still, watching and listening. It was not long until Miller, too, heard the sounds of approach. Ravia held up two bent fingers, and a few moments later, two men emerged from the bridge's southern end. They were dressed in familiar uniform, long gray coats with black facings, white waistcoats, and black tricorn. They belonged to the local patrol, the Blackguard. Though not an everyday occurrence, their presence at the Black Bridge was an unusual sight. Indicated an important traveler's impending passage across the bridge, and they would relay that to their leaders. And it was rarely acted upon. Miller's 5 years, she had never once seen a carriage taken in open daylight when the Blackguard was nearby. Men had barely reached the bridge's north end when Miller heard the horses, faintly at first, growing louder with each passing moment. Ravia's eye met Miller's, the same concern mirrored in each other's. Does not sound like the typical carriage, cautiously approaching the bridge to cross. Instead of the familiar crunch of the high road's gravel, they heard the harsh clattering of hoofbeats, against stone. Redirected their attention, looking through the foliage. They were coming from the canyon itself. The horses were coming from below the bridge. Miller knocked an arrow. Ravia was gone. Racing towards the cave. The base had been compromised. It was the Blackguard attack. Let loose her first arrow. She was surprised to see a carriage. She had expected cavalry. Before she even finished processing, her second arrow was in the air. Without a trail, it would have been unthinkable for a carriage. Yet she watched as the wheels jolted over the rocky riverbed. With the third, there would be no need for a fourth. The driver slumped over moments before the vehicle dipped into a small ditch, slamming into the embankment. Catapulted the driver from his seat. Down the canyon, entire horde of unholy hounds came spilling forth from the earth as if hell itself had suddenly sprung open. The group seemed even more bewildered than Miller, half asleep and tripping over one another in desperate attempt to engage an unseen enemy in combat. Ravia, only one looking up at her. No need for silent gesture to convey what they both realized: they had made a mistake. Geoffrey Heartslasher, the gang's chieftain, led others, approaching the crashed carriage like a suspicious fox. No words exchanged. A dozen or so paces in front of the wreckage lay the far-flung driver, arrow protruding, and a blood-stained effigy carved from stone. Jesper had always been her favorite. Always shouted her in the night, clean to him of her every move, the way a child chails between an older sibling, tender-hearted. Wasn't quite true. His appearance and gentleness concealed the raw, resilient durability that emerged in the most perilous of situations. He had been a flower amongst the nettles of this cave, but he still had thorns, honed by a grim past 100 hands of misfortune. Buried him in the darkness in the back of one of the larger cavern rooms. He was interred with a berry basket and a silk handkerchief that he had treasured. Meeple Pete, thank you for the follow. Welcome. The effigy served as a distinguished gravestone, marking that stood out somewhat special among the rows of similar swords and neighboring plots. No one spoke, not even whispers. There was nothing to say. Woke the next day to a thunderous shaking and rattling, far cry from the playful nudging of the previous day. Choking sting of stirred up dust caused her to flinch. Panic was also in the air. Sounds of scurried footsteps, clattered feet filled the space around her. But even alarmed, the silence was louder. What was it that sounded so strange? Miller closed her eyes tight and used her feet to guide her along the passage. The whispers around her were getting louder, and intense voices could be heard ahead. Louder speech than she had ever heard spoken in the canyon. A growing dread grew as Miller approached the mouth of the cave. Her eyes now open wide despite the dust. Shouldn't it be day? Felt a hand in the darkness pulling at her. It was Ravia. The two embraced, and Miller did not need to see her to understand. Two bent fingers against Miller's cheek, and with that touch against her face, felt the same sinking feeling from the previous day. Two bent fingers confirmed what Miller had suspected. The girls had forgotten to relay one critical piece of information to the others. An hour or so later, the screams began. Blood-curdling cries of hopeless desperation. Captain Fodrick Lee of the Blackguard looked down from the ridge of the canyon to the collapsed entrance of the tunnel. Ah, now they speak. All right. Hey, show, welcome back. Yep, I'm still live. We'll be ending soon, though. I've been going for 9 hours, and I'm starting to get kind of tired. But okay, that is very interesting. They had a cursed effigy statue. And the berry symbol, we've seen that on the coat of arms, actually. The berries. And that's the effigy right there. Starting to? Wow, the stamina. What can I say? I have to raise. I've been dealing with a dog and a whole bunch of of cats, trying to teach them all. I kind of want to get the gallery here. I know the vault and the greenhouse are both going to be super useful, but I feel the gallery's the way to go because I can grab the room 8 key, and I'm pretty sure that the room 8 key is what we need to start for that other clue we got with the from the book. I'm pretty sure we need room 8. Keep left to Tanner Fork. Dead end. Record each stop on the way. Well, I feel at the very least it's worth looking into. Courtyard could be good here. Drawing room also could be good. Both will pay for themselves. But I think the courtyard we could potentially get the shovel, and that's what's going to win it for me. And look, there's the shovel. Now we got some places to dig. You okay there, Tanner boy? Love you, mister. Alright. We can't use key 8, so we'll just use a normal key here. Boiler room. Observatory. Geist bedroom. I think I'll draft the boiler room here just because it'll give us more potential doors. I kind of want to head back and knock out those lower rooms, but we'll keep going. I want to try my roommate theory here. Got the den here. And hopefully this door is locked. Special key. Roommate. Okay. I think this one's gluttony. With an N in its sin. Far from the fin. Pretty sure, if I remember correctly, this one was lust. Bin I tend to wind up in is the bin near the tail of the skin. Hubris. Min or 10. Yeah, sloth. I don't think I have to solve this every time, but... Share a trend with my neighbor's sin. I think that's right. Neighbor's sin is written thin to fit all in. Wrath. Oh, got more allowance. Cool. That was worth it. Okay. So if I have this right, Route 8, depart and keep left. Lose a random inventory item in exchange for 2 more. We can do the vault. Or I could try to redraw. You know what? Let's try to redraw. Workshop could be useful here. And then on the fork, we turn right. Broken lever. All we need, I think, now is the battery pack. And I could get the super sledge again. I don't have the key card, so I can't keep going this way. It's alright. Oh, here's the office. We needed that one. We also need the pool. Because I need the pump room. Well, let's go with the office to get this hint. I think the pool is a little more common than the office. Enter Raynella's code, because she was so close to getting it. She was literally 1 number off, which was pretty funny. Okay. Broken again. Don't think there's enough time to put in another work order before Simon arrives. Just make sure the west and east. Okay. So west... Probably, if I had to guess, it's probably dig beside West Bridge. That's my guess on that one. So we'll go try to check that out before the end of the day today. Passageway actually is pretty useful here. It would connect the boiler room and give us 2 more slots. I could just go with the Nook instead. What word? I got west. So I have blank beside West Bridge. So I think it's dig. Because the patio has instructions on digging. So I'm pretty sure we got that. I do have the shovel. I do. When you discover less common in the library. Treasure map! Hell yeah! Will do. Thank you, Femzy. Okay, and I think we even have that room already. 5 is the courtyard, hilariously enough. I guess I'll get Swimbird, but... use a key. We can do the Great Hall, Commissary, or the Observatory. I think the Commissary is the way to go here. I mean, Great Hall could be nice, but I think I blocked off the other door. So I think I need the Secret Garden. Warwick, new girl asked why we rent shovels, and I told her for insurance claims. Well, at the very least, we can get a banana if we need it, if we need more steps. Ooh, Rumpus Room. We haven't gotten that one in a while. Banana! Exactly. Let's get the Rumpus Room. Let's see what information we get this time.
As it was foretold, I am awakened at the sound of a dropping coin. You find yourself face to face with the great Alzara.
Hello, Alzara.
And I suspect you wish me to look into your future.
Yes, please.
The image is becoming clear. I hear the pattering steps of children running in the forest. The joyful echoes of laughter in the courtyard. I see an old man sitting in an even older chair. A seed that has served many generations,
Okay.
each with their own stories, each with their own secrets, each with their own endings, but all in the same chair. What you have heard here has been foreseen by the great Alzara. Until the dawn of the following day, I will have nothing more to say.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I didn't either. Alright, I'll be right back. Sorry, guys. I'm gonna just pause the video real quick because Tanner wants to go out. Hey, YouTube! Welcome back. I just added the West Wing Hall. Kind of forgot that I wasn't recording. But yeah, we're gonna go take a look at this and knock it out. So we can get another courtyard. I think that's the way to go. Armory could have been nice, but I don't see like a huge need for it right now. Old tin can, not even worth picking up. Open up this trunk. Got the car keys. That could be useful. And got a coin. Use a key here. Another den. Or a walk-in closet. Yeah, let's go with the walk-in closet here. Let's give it a shot. Running shoes! That's gonna be useful. Some dice. Swan. Pantry or the storeroom? I think we'll go with the pantry here. It'll give us some more steps and some more coins. Banana! Ooh, the drawing room is a good one here. Yeah, let's go with the drawing room. Okay, got that. Grab another gem to pay for itself, which is kind of nice. Can't go that way. We can get the servant spare quarters, another observatory, or the lab. The lab would be great, but I am trying, for those that don't know, I was trying to get as many rooms as possible. But I think the lab with the experiment features is the way to go. So let's get that. And let's try and run an experiment. Each time you eat an apple, when you draft a hallway from another hallway, I think let's go each time I eat an apple, let's have a letter delivered to the mailroom. I mean, I could gain a key for every 2 hallways in my house. That also could be nice. I don't know, I just kind of feel that, I kind of feel the letters will be important for later, but we do need keys this time, so we'll try that and call it good. We got that already. So now we got to go back to the West Wing hallway. Ideally, I would really like to draft the dining room. That's what I'm looking for right now. A duplicate West Wing hallway. Kitchen also, I think, is pretty good. We need more steps. So, since I didn't draw the dining room, I guess we'll go with the kitchen. Tomato soup. Yeah, we'll do club sandwich. And we have, like, no red rooms in the house. The tomato soup isn't going to be worth jack shit. Well, we can get the boudoir, the billiard room, or the trophy room. Or we could redraw. I kind of want to redraw because, while some of these are going to be really useful, I don't know how good others are going to be at this point. I say we redraw. I think we're at that point where it's okay to do so. We got the coat check. You know, that would help if I could make it back to the bedroom. Observatory. Again, I don't really want that. And then solarium would just be a dead end here. I'm going to redraw one more time. Oh, hey, well, there's the showroom. But I don't know how much that'll be. But I think I got to go locksmith here to buy some keys. Because we don't have any more. I could just go to the storeroom, get some money, get a diamond. This is a tough call. No matter what, we're not making it to the antechamber today. That requires a key lock. Yeah, the showroom is like 20 to 80 per item, which I don't really have a ton of the money for. Let's go with the locksmith. Maybe they have the secret garden key. Yeah, I'll spend the money on the secret key. Boom! Secret key to the secret garden. That's going to be freaking awesome. Okay, so that'll be 10 steps. I have 30. I think I'll be okay. I think. I'll maybe make a couple purchases in the kitchen. I'll try to buy some bananas to get some additional steps. And yeah, I'll get the lockpick kit. And why not? Let's get a normal key as well, just in case. But I think we're going to be good here. I really do. Get a couple bananas here. And now we should be good on steps. And I'll buy the set of gems. And yeah, let's buy one more key. Why not? All right. Yeah, I think we're going to be good. Unfortunately, I didn't solve the secret of room 8. But that's okay. Oh, yep. Treasure map. I forgot about that. Time to start digging. Dig for treasure, dig for treasure. Digging treasure, dig for treasure. Let's see what's in here. What did we get? Just digging. The coffers of Mount Holly. We got 8 additional gems. We are swimming in gems right now. Well. Huh. Okay, we'll get the utility closet here, I guess. And a whole coin. Living large, everybody. Living large. And we do also still have an option in the foundation as well. Since we're here, might as well open it up. And get a bedroom. Or another observatory. Well, let's not be stingy with our gems here. And everything's half off, unfortunately, after I spent all my money. Dang. That's a little unfortunate timing, but that's okay. Probably would have been better if I had saved that, but that's alright. Oh, turnip for some extra steps. Hell yeah. Turnip there as well. Nice. Alright, going through security. Four coins and 2 trunks. Oh, that's right. There's 2 trunks at the front. That's right. Security level will be low. Offline mode unlocked. So now if we do manage to have enough steps after doing everything else, we can make it back, potentially. Let me just make sure I'm going the right way. Either way, I guess we can do this. Open up this trunk, see what's inside. Couple more keys, that's useful. Don't think we'll need them this run, but you never know. And a silver key. And another gem. Alright. Another rumpus room. Or the den. I think we go with the den here, because that'll maximize our chance of filling out the entire area down there. I am going to run to go dig by the West Bridge. Dig beside West Bridge. Alright, nothing's triggering. The final microchip. All right. Let's go check it out. Thank you, Femzy. Oops. No? Okay. Court, cloak, castle. Court, cloak, castle. I did a thing. Femsy, you're killing me with these things from New Clues. That, that I need to... I missed. What's up, Femsy? Did I write down anything about a sundial? I don't think I did. But I know there is a sundial in the gardener area. The throne was not about the bathroom. No, it was not. Yep, I think I know what that means. At least I have an idea. It's about a scorched sundial. Okay. Don't think there was anything else in the ruins I needed. Were there other words that I missed, silly? I got 3 of them, but I don't know if they're relevant. But I was busy writing down what I had. Elements was one? Okay. Yeah, because there's a sundial here in the orchard. But this doesn't look scorched to me. So, it's the only real point of reference I have for that. Take a closer look at it. Okay, let's take a look. It almost looks like a sigil. Does anything not quite line up? Well, the shadow does not seem to line up. Like, it feels like the shadows are going this way, but this one's pointing here. I don't see anything, though. Yeah, the shadow doesn't match the light. Like, if it did, you would expect it to be more this way. Yeah, I can't do anything. I'm not seeing anything. But the shadow's the only part about it that's jumping out at me right now. But yeah, I can't interact with it at all. Looking at the base... Yeah, right here. There's a couple unaligned parts. But like, you see how there's a, like, there's this here, right? Then there's another one here. And then another one here. Yeah, there's... Like, it looks like you should be able to move this, but I don't see how. We need to set the sundial on fire? Well, do we need the tool in order to do that? Probably not. So Femzi, do I need a tool for this part, or is everything I need here? I don't think you'd be hinting at this if I couldn't do it with the tools that are right here. But I want to ask just because I'm very tired. I've been going for almost 10 hours. I'm very tired. Because I thought, you know, by turning the gas on this thing on, it would trigger something. Okay. So I need to make the fire thing again. Damn it. Okay, well, that's unfortunate. Alright, I'm gonna go turn this back on then, since those things don't do shit. Okay. Made a note. Let's go back in and try to knock out as much as we can. We still have, I think, a couple more rooms we can get, which means there's potentially more we can do. Tanner's getting very impatient with me. No, Tanner, take it easy, kiddo. Yeah, we did roll credits. We technically beat the first half of the game, and the main objective. This is all kind of extra. Like, you know, bonuses and bonuses. Layers upon layers. Well, why not? Not gonna fill every room, but sure. Okay. That's kind of cool, so we can plan on that sort of thing. Now, Femsy said there were puzzles in here. I don't see anything else off the top of my head. Nothing I can interact with, anyway. There is a lot of stuff. Yeah, sure. There's a lot. This looks like the, This looks like the map. One of the star charts we drew. Yeah, for the outer circle, that's what this is. Yep, so that's Mamora. That is Mora. Daja. The big one's Vea, and the small one is Fenmora. You need stuff for this room's extras. Sounds good. But this is the outer circle. So that's kind of cool. At least we have that. And we have this this list. Can someone do me a favor? I don't want to write all these down. Can someone do me a favor and clip me showing both of these? Thank you very much. It would be very awesome if you could. So here's one, and here's two. I don't want to write all them down. I'm sorry, guys. After 10 hours, I am tired. But this has been a lot of fun. Thank you, Silly. And Silly, I know you normally post them. Could you DM me that clip specifically? And then I can just add it to kind of like my list of references, and I can write it down later. Thank you very much. Thank you, Silly. Much appreciated. Alrighty. Stuff in the mirror room. Okay. I don't think we have enough footsteps to get back. Actually, we might. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, we do, actually. We 100% do. So let's just keep it moving, I guess. Yeah. Let's keep going. Oh yeah, no, Silly. That's exactly what I meant. So you nailed it. Yeah, I was only hoping to get one. One clip, so I can pause. You clipped 2? Oh, sorry, silly. I only meant the 1. Lockpick and metal detector. I could get that. That's kind of cool. All right, let's go and see if I can do like literally anything else. Shovel and metal detector. That's the detector shovel. Don't think I've ever gotten that one. Pick sound amplifier. So I did make that one, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I need the battery, which I don't have. All right, well, let's open up the final room. Redraw. I don't like any of those. Redraw again for the hell of it. And we've got the pool! That would be awesome if we had one more room, but we don't. I wonder with the Rumpus Room if it will, if we can do Alzir a second time. I kind of doubt it, but... let's give it a try. Nope. Cannot trigger him a second time. Even though I have 2 different Rumpus Rooms. Feels bad. But it makes sense. Can't be too upset about that one. Give me a whack at it, you'll get him triggered. I know, right? It's all good. Let's see. I think the metal detector is the only thing that works with both. Yeah. I don't know if I've made the detector shovel before, though, so let's make it. But I'm pretty sure I made the sound picker. Okay, that's good to know. Let's see. How close is a library? Oh, we have one pretty close. I can actually check and see how many inventions I've made there. Detector shovel, I know, right? It's pretty good. Let's go up and see. I think I made the pick detector once. I think early on it was my first invention. Yep, so I'm only missing, looks like 1 contraption. Well, I think there's supposed to be 8, right? So I'm missing 2. And we made it to grade 5, guys. We're edumacated. Da 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 da, Inspector Gadget. Da 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 da. Oh. Am I smarter than a 5th grader? God, this game does not make me feel like it. I can tell you that much. Okay, I don't think there's anything else we can do here, with what we have. We got the treasure map already. We never got the garage, unfortunately, for the car keys. So I think, yeah, I think that's going to do it for the day. And we never got to eat an apple. Feels bad. Let's call it a day. Yeah, we had 39 rooms, so pretty good. Pretty good. But all right, that is going to wrap for me, guys. This has been a marathon stream. We went 10 hours. 10 hours, guys. Can you believe that? That's kind of insane. And there's still so much left to this game, too. That's the wild part. That's probably the craziest thing. Sorry, that's probably the craziest thing about the whole thing is we have only scratched the surface of this game. YouTube, thank you very much for watching. If you did make it this far, man, more power to you. I'm not certain if I'm going to be live streaming this game again. I definitely feel with how complicated the puzzles have gotten that I will need to live stream it. But YouTube, if I do play this game again, rest assured you will see more blueprints. I'll probably be recording my playthrough if I do. But thank you. Thank you very much for watching. Thanks for lasting so long. I really appreciate it. This has been a wild ride. I've loved Blueprints. It's my game of the year, no question. And thank you guys very much for watching, if this is indeed the last video on Blueprints for now. But YouTube, thanks for watching, guys. You have a great rest of your evening, day, whatever you're doing, and I'll see you next time, okay? Bye-bye, YouTube!